Hey guys, this is Austin. This is the brand new, smaller and cheaper Surface Go. But at $400, the question is it worth it? So Microsoft just sent this over. Today is the launch of the Surface Go, so you can pre-order it and all that kind of stuff. But the general idea here is that this feels much more like a competitor to the iPad than a lot of the higher-end Surface models. So there are only going to be a couple models of the Surface Go. So this is the higher-end config with the Pentium Gold, which is standard across the board, but with the upgraded 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, and this one is going to cost $550. All right, so inside we get the actual tablet itself. That feels like an iPad. That is much, much smaller than any of the normal Surfaces, but we're still going to be getting a lot of the nice features, including, if I get the plastic wrap off, we've got the nice fully adjustable kickstand. Dude, this is really light. Wow. It's funny, I mean, the normal Surfaces are hardly heavy or huge, but this just feels so much more portable. I mean, that is nothing. While phones are going completely away from bezels, I actually really don't mind the slightly larger bezels on the Surface Go. It gives you a nice sort of place to sort of set your fingers and use it without accidentally touching the screen all the time. So we've got a power cable. So this one's going to be, I have to do math, 23 watts, right? 24 watts, damn, I was close. My math skills, super sharp. But we've got the standard Surface charger, and it is going to be using the Surface connector. So something that's going to be a little bit different with this, as opposed to something like the actual bigger Surface Pro, is the port situation. So we still do have the Surface connector, but this guy's also going to have a full USB-C port. Beyond that, it looks like we're just going to be getting a little bit of paperwork in the box. So like its bigger brothers, you can pick it up with the keyboard as well as a stylus, but both of those are going to cost extra. So this is the Alcantara type cover. Now it's going to actually run you a full $130. You can pick up the non-Alcantara version for $100, but don't be fooled by that $400 price tag on the Surface Go. It can get much more expensive very quickly. The Surface Go is in an interesting position. So it slots right in between the $330 base iPad as well as the $650 iPad Pro. Now it is going to be both thicker as well as have a smaller screen than the Pro, but you're also going to be getting some much more PC-focused features, like, you know, an actual USB-C port and the ability to use a trackpad, which is kind of helpful for a thing that tries to replace your laptop. Now the keyboards are actually going to be a pretty similar size. So both on the iPad.
As you guys know, Sharun and Devinder went on a trip to China a couple of months back to get some amazing gadgets that we can show to you guys. Along with some great devices we have already shown you, they also got some really weird yet very cool phones. Yes, this is a phone here. Well, it's time we show them to you.
One of my favorite things about the BlackBerry Key 2 I carry every day is the neat little capacitive magic trick that lets its keyboard double as a trackpad. And for the longest time, I thought BlackBerry had the lockdown on this stuff. Well, turns out I was wrong. Lenovo has a keyboard that works just like it. Except instead of a smartphone, it's a remote control for your PC. And instead of costing over $600, it costs less than $50. The Lenovo 500 multimedia controller isn't actually all that new. It was announced at CES over a year ago, but was delayed for a while due to, well, something Lenovo didn't want to go into in our correspondence. That's fine. It arrived in my studio a few days ago, and just to jump right to the conclusion here, if I still had a roommate who kept a big gaming PC hooked up to the living room TV, I'd have already bought one of these. That's the target consumer here, someone who uses a computer as a media center for the home. Instead of keeping a full-size wireless keyboard and mouse around for entering passwords or browsing music or movies, this thing is both. Here's how it works. You plug in the 2.4 GHz dongle into your PC's USB port. Windows recognizes the pad just like any peripheral, and you're off to the races. Single finger scrolling moves your mouse pointer, 2 fingers lets you scroll lists, 3 fingers gets you multitasking, and pinch to zoom works too. I mentioned BlackBerry at the top, and in fact those guys could take some notes from the execution here. Granted, Lenovo.
We are only halfway through 2018, and we've already seen a pretty diverse set of new trends in smartphones. Big steps forward in the camera department, the first phones with over 90% screen on the front, and a new emphasis on intricate color options. So today, we've got the budget phones, we've got the China phones, we've got the flagship phones. These are my top 10 favorite smartphones in 2018 so far. And a quick disclaimer, whilst I have used pretty much every major phone released this year, there are a couple of exceptions, notably the latest from LG and HTC, just because those are two companies that aren't very good at dealing with YouTubers, and I think it's a mistake they're actually paying quite dearly for. Okay, let's get straight into it.
Whether you're creating videos for YouTube or for personal or business use, the video editor you use can make all the difference. In a prior video, I showed you the best free video editors, which are great for handling simple tasks. In this video, I will show you the top 5 premium editing programs that can improve the overall quality of your videos. In testing, numerous factors were considered to determine the best, with features available, cost, and ease of use being the most important. After I show you the top pick, I will give you a mini tutorial of the program that I use for creating videos here on YouTube.
So today I have an interesting product. It's making a bunch of claims. This showed up and I was like, I gotta test that out. I don't know. It's a screen protector that claims to enhance your battery life, improve your signal strength, and reduce the amount of radiation coming out of your smartphone into your face. That's a lot of claims for a screen protector. It's from Tech Armor. They've got a little image here, 15 minutes of cell phone use. This guy's half dead, as you can tell, silent threat. The jury's out on this whole radiation situation. Their new screen protector is going to push the radiation out the back of the phone by blocking it from coming out of the front. But honestly, the thing I'm most interested in is this improved signal strength. With improved signal strength, you can also often realize better battery life as well. In fact, they're saying up to 40% longer battery life. So in this video, I'm going to take some signal strength readings on this iPhone 10 right here prior to installing the screen protector. Then I'll install the screen protector and take the readings again in order to see if it actually does improve signal strength. I think it's around 30 bucks. Maybe Willie Doo can give us the big number. 30 bucks, did I nail that? I just guessed, okay? It's 30 bucks. It does all these other things. Now you guys may remember I did a video in the past about a case enhance the battery life. What happens is when you lift it up and slide it, you'll notice it lines up with the antenna on the iPhone. Pretty much as expected. It feels pretty substantial, actually. It's already nerve-wracking. I'm already starting to get paranoid here about installing the screen protector, although I feel like I've gotten better at it over the years. Device cleansing wipes. All right, so there's this special mode you can go into on your iPhone. You could try this yourself. Type in *3001 #12345 # and then dial it, and it brings you into this field test mode. This gives you all kinds of information about your phone. Now, the key stuff for us is in the serving cell measurement right here. Now our signal strength lives right here, RSRP0. You can see we are at -108. In this case, since it's a minus figure, the lower the number, the better the signal. You can see it fluctuating a little bit. This is LTE. This is on the Rogers network. RSRP1 represents the next closest cell tower. The thing to do now is to install the enhanced Tech.
So you've no doubt seen tons of photos from your favorite YouTubers and tech writers taken on the P20 Pro on social media. I'm willing to bet that a lot of those photos were also taken at night. I'm also willing to bet that a lot of them looked pretty darn good. Now, it's no secret that for low light photos on a mobile phone, a lot of people are turning to this device. The thing is that I'm not so sure that people really understand why it's so good at these photos. So I think we need to talk about it because it does actually represent a pretty big leap. Okay, so first, a little bit of background on the phone if you're not familiar. It has 3 lenses on the back that are all tuned and created by Huawei and Leica, the camera company that's been around for a million years. The first is a monochrome sensor that can capture more dynamic range because it only has to focus on light and not color. It also takes those fun black and white shots that you probably see a lot of on social media. The other sensor is an RGB sensor. So it's the color sensor that when paired with the monochrome sensor, they actually combine their data to increase dynamic range from the monochrome and then add the color data in from the RGB sensor. And finally, we have a 3x telephoto zoom, which is 3 times instead of the 2 times that we see on most devices. The fact that it has 3 rear cameras is great and all, but it's not the sheer number of cameras that makes it so good at low light.
The Honor Play. Honor's latest offering in India is here, and in today's video, let's unbox it and take a close look. Hey guys, Ash here from C4Retech, card to a monthly giveaway, links in the description too. And while you're down there, hit that bell icon to become part of our notification squad. So here's the box that the Honor Play comes in. Opening it up, we have the Honor Play itself. Let's remove it from its protective cover. It comes with the silicone case on, removing that and the sticker. It's a metal back. After all the multicolored backs we've been seeing from Honor and Huawei, this feels a tad underwhelming. Inside the box there's another case. Wait, what? Okay, this is probably because it's a review unit. I don't see the retail packaging coming with two cases. Anyway, then there's a Type-C cable and a Huawei quick charge adapter, 9 volts 2 amps, so 18 watts. Let's now get back to the Honor Play and take a close look. While the Honor Play is not as eye-catchy as the Honor 10, it still feels solid in hand. It's got a Honor 8 Pro kind of feel to it. Let me quickly give you a runaround of the placements. We have the power and volume keys to the right, just a secondary noise cancelling microphone up top, a hybrid tray to the left, and at the bottom we have the Type-C port with a headphone jack and secondary mic and speaker on either side. Now, the back's all metal with antenna lines to the top and bottom. We have a fingerprint scanner, and above that, a dual camera setup with a single LED flash. To the front, just like with the Nova 3i, we have a 6.3-inch IPS LCD panel. The resolution is Full HD+, and it's again a 19.5 by 9 panel, so 2340 by 1080 pixels, meaning a pixel density of about 410 pixels per inch. The display is vibrant and bright. The viewing angles are good too. The notch up top houses the 16 megapixel selfie camera.
Okay, today we are going to try and solve a bit of an age-old dilemma. You've got $250, do you buy a cheap phone from the current year, or do you spring for a flagship from a couple of years ago? And to help us out with this, we've got two of the best phones in each category. The brand new Xiaomi Mi A2, about $250 brand new, and the Google Pixel, about $250 refurb with a warranty. So I actually picked the Pixel because its stock software lends itself to not just being fast, but also staying fast. It's powered by the Snapdragon 821 and 4GB of RAM, and still has that day one silky smooth performance. And performance is always a really interesting point of comparison, because with the newer phone, you're getting a newer chip, but one that is in a lower tier. In this case, the Snapdragon 660. This more recent chip on the Mi A2 actually has slightly faster CPU performance than the Pixel, and is an 8-core chip versus the 4. But it loses out big time in terms of graphics. You see, Qualcomm has always reserved a big chunk of graphics performance exclusively for their 8 series flagship chips. So even though the phone is 2 years older, the Pixel doubles the graphics performance of the Mi A2. So you will notice a performance disparity on some top games, but having said that, the Mi A2 is still far from a slouch. And it's not like it's a case where there are some games that this phone can play that this phone can't. Display quality is a really interesting area because so much has changed even in the last 2 years. Rewind to 2016 and barely any smartphones had the tall 18:9 screens that have now become standard, not to mention ones as large as 6 inches, which is what we find on the Mi A2. The Pixel doesn't have rounded corners, nor does it have this modern high screen-to-body ratio. The resolution is comparable, but the contrast produced by its AMOLED display blitzes.